Ayman Khan here for Seconds Out with Queensberry's Dev Sahni. Dev, we've just witnessed a bit of a shock, really, with Zhang getting the win over Joe Joyce. Look, we knew he was credible, beyond doubt, coming into this, but maybe we didn't expect this to happen, I guess.
The whole danger around the fight was that for the first few rounds, he was always going to be dangerous. He proved to be very dangerous indeed. It looked like Joe Joyce couldn't really get out of the way of that backhand. I think he struggled with the southpaw stance in there, and he's got sharp, quick hands and power. He's a real problem, Zhilei Zhang. And I think the assumption was that Joe Joyce would be able to withstand it just because he's superhuman, and then juggernaut him late on. But his chin didn't break, but his skin did. And unfortunately, you can have the best chin in the world, which Joe Joyce does have, but you can't really do much about that. And his eye closed. And, was it the right decision? Yeah, absolutely. I was looking at it thinking he surely can't just keep getting punched on the eye. That's not the one. But credit Zhilei Zhang. He's come here and he's been fantastic all week. He warned about Chinese power and he showed what Chinese power can do. So fair play to him.
I think it was round 2 when that ball started to develop on Joe Joyce's right eye. Did you feel at that point, look, this is different to every other fight? Because normally we see Joyce come on stronger, but maybe the tide turned at that point.
There was a couple of moments in there where there was obviously those shots which clearly you see Joe Joyce sort of retreating back and sort of ending up in the corner with his back to Zhang. Things like that were going on where you're like, this doesn't normally happen. But also when Joe Joyce was getting in close, Zhang was just sort of like shaking him off. Just shaking him off. That's the juggernaut, right? He's so used to being the bigger, stronger guy, the monster in there. I think he came in too light and he wasn't able to just walk down a guy who was almost 2 stone heavier than him. Essentially, it was the wrong fight, really. Maybe, if he'd have boxed him like he boxed Daniel Dubois, it would have been different. But maybe he wouldn't have been able to do that because of the southpaw stance. So it's a real tough one. And there were moments in there where I was just like, this is a bit different to the Takam fight, which I also kind of watched like this, But no, it's the southpaw stance and he can bang.
Would you like to see the rematch? And do you feel that Joe can approach the fight differently to get the win this time around if the rematch does happen?
It's tough to say. Look, if he wants that WBO interim title back from Zhang, then he needs to rematch Zhang, unless Queensberry can figure out some sort of magic. But that seems to be the route. Does he need to have another few rounds with a hard-hitting southpaw that he can't seem to figure out, just whacking him in the face when he's not going to go down? He's just going to get mashed up, and that's what happened there. I don't know. I guess that's one for him. That's one for his team. He might just be like, yeah, give me Zhang. But then also, you never know what's going to happen in this heavyweight division. Daniel Dubois should be fighting Usyk. Say Daniel Dubois chins Alexander Usyk. There's a bit of unfinished business there with Joe Joyce. He might be like, hey, eye for an eye? There might be something like that. You never know.
The debrief will have started online and will continue throughout the night in terms of
my notifications. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you'll be getting
You'll
definitely be getting it right now. Look, the conversation will be as to what Joe's prospects are coming after this fight up against the best of the heavyweight division. Has that changed in your eyes if Joyce was to get there against the elite?
I think the thing that it's changed my style, I don't think it changes what would happen in the Anthony Joshua fight. I think what really got him is the southpaw element. So it does make me readdress what would potentially happen in an Usyk fight. I don't think Usyk bangs as hard as Zhang does. So maybe Joe would walk through a few more, and But Usyk's got enough pop to get his attention. So, yeah, it makes me consider that fight. In my view, that fight beforehand was Joe's too big, he'll walk him down and he'll juggernaut him. But he does seem to struggle with that backhand from the southpaw stance, and Usyk's the best southpaw heavyweight in the world unless Tyson Fury switches stance.
A moment on Zhang then. Look, a lot of people thought he beat Hrgovic. Now he has beaten Joe Joyce. He's got momentum here. What about his prospects against the best in the heavyweight division?
He's a real problem. Look, people don't like fighting southpaws for a reason. So imagine a southpaw that can hit you really, really hard in the face, is 6'6", and has Chinese power. You don't want none of that, so he's a problem.
Well, Dev, commiserations, but it was a brilliant fight to watch. Looking forward to seeing Joe Joyce back in the ring soon, whether it be against Zhang or not. But thank you for speaking to SecondsOut. Much appreciated, sir.